Joy, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a fun sunset ink background to share with you using some of my favorite Maker Forte products. I am using the Color Hive Inks in the colors Lemon, Coral Keys, my favorite Vegas Strip, Sugar Plum, and I am using the Under the Stars stamp set. I chose to use the round mountain scene for this, and I'm showing that I used a 3.5 by 3.5 piece of smooth cardstock, and I start out by blending the lemon ink through that. And the reason I had put that stamp up there was so I could kind of gauge where the yellow was going to be, because I want the sun to be like the yellow part of the sun to be right at the top edge of the mountains. And then I come in with Coral Keys. Coral Keys is a nice pinky coral color, obviously, but what I like is that it blends well with lemon and it makes a vibrant yellow. Now you're not seeing how vibrant it gets yet until I come back in later. Right now it's just very important that I put down a rough blend to map out where I want my colors and to start to saturate the paper, because once the paper is saturated, then those inks will kind of blend back and absorb into the paper, and you're going to know what your saturation is. Now I come in with my very favorite color of all time, which is Vegas Strip. It's a royal blue. Typically that would not be my favorite, but it happens to be my favorite. It makes my heart sing. I can't even explain why, other than it is just a beautiful, beautiful color. So you're going to notice that once that starts to blend with the Coral Keys, it makes a very vibrant purple. Now I'm coming in with the Sugar Plum, which is a dark saturated purple. And as that blends with the Vegas Strip, you're going to see that the night sky effect starts to take place. But like I said, once you go back and blend again with all the same colors, you're going to see these you're going to see the night sky kind of become vibrant and come alive. So I am coming back in with a Vegas Strip, and that's where you're starting to see that really dark bluish purple that would be at the top of a sunset, the furthest part away from our horizon, is what I'm going for. And I think that these two colors just make for a beautiful night sky. And then, so that I don't contaminate my colors, I flip my paper around and come in with the Coral Keys. And that's where you're starting to see that super beautiful, like pinkish purple. And then I come in with that lemon ink, and then that yellow becomes extremely vibrant. We get a nice orange, and in my opinion, it turned out to be a stunning blend. Now I'm coming back in with that Under the Stars stamp, and I am centering that on that 3.5 by 3.5 square, and using my Eclipse Black ink, I am inking that up really well onto my Misty stamping tool. And a trick with that is, if you find that your ink pad is starting to dry, please re-ink it, because with a silhouette stamp, if you come in with a nice moist pad, you're only going to have to stamp once, and you don't have to worry about possibly it shifting when you go back to do it a second time. Another key is to come in with an ink smushing tool and put down a lot of pressure and give it time for the ink to transfer to the paper. I think sometimes we forget to let the ink transfer, and so you just have to do that. Back to the blending brush, I bring in the Eclipse ink again, and I blend around all four corners, and that's just to create a vignette and to draw the eye in. Also, when creating a night sky, I would use this and blend over all of the colors and just leave some of the colors popping through. But in this instance, the sunset was the goal that I was going for. So that's the reason for just the vignette and no additional dark blending. Then I come in with a sentiment. And I use the embossing ink on some Eclipse black paper and my Misty tool, and I make sure to get a nice impression with that. And then I come in with white fine detail embossing powder, and I make sure that once I get that powder on well, that I give it a nice little flick to tap off all the excess powder before melting it with my Wagner heat gun. And that way it just really makes that sentiment pop, and that's gonna make that sentiment just beautiful. Anyway, I then come in with a piece of matte silver cardstock measuring 3 3/4. I'm sorry, yeah, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I matte that sunset background. And then I do the same thing with the sentiment strip. That sentiment strip measures about 1 inch by 3.5, and that's going to come into play here in a second when you see the card. So I come in and I back each of my layers with double-sided adhesive because I like everything popped up with lots of dimension. And then you'll notice that when I peel back the adhesive, I still come in with some wet glue. And the reason for that is the double-backed adhesive is extremely sticky. So if you don't get that down straight the first time, you're not going to be able to peel it back. But if you put wet glue on it, you're going to have a little extra wiggle room in case you don't get it down absolutely straight. So you're seeing me put that down onto my A2 card base made from Eclipse black cardstock. And then I come in with that sentiment strip. And the reason I made it such a big deal to let you know that the dimensions are 3 3/4 wide is because I'm kind of going for a little bit of a Polaroid look with that popped up area. For final touches, I'm coming in with a white gel pen to just add some detail. And if you've stuck with me this long, I would really appreciate you liking, commenting, subscribing if you feel so inclined. I do appreciate you sticking with me. And here are the last few details or shots of my card. Again, thank you so much for sticking it out with me. Until next time, keep crafting. Be blessed, my friends. Bye-bye.